Hello everybody, welcome back to another day, another video. I really hope it's not too bright, the lighting in here, because I've been messing around with the blinds for so long. Maybe we'll have it over here, and it's like so dark and dingy in here, yet on the camera it looks so bright. So strange. But anyway, hello, I hope you're all doing well. We're doing a sit down video today, and one of my New Year's resolutions was to get back to doing 2 videos a week. So I've been really racking my brain to think about this because I really struggled to find the time. I've said so many times, haven't I, that I'm going to do 2 videos, and then I've just been doing 1 for so long, but I really want to, and I really enjoy being here. So my idea is to do 1 sit down video a week and 1 vlog type of video a week, and I hope that gives me a bit more time because the editing is so time consuming. I'm going to shift you guys down a bit because I feel like you're very focusing down on me. 1 second. Oh, I'm a bit rusty, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so just that's where I'm at. So if you have any ideas on topics that you'd like me to talk about for the sit down videos, please let me know, because otherwise I'm going to stick to the twins and mum life and sort of videos like that. But if there's anything you want to know about me, or about me and Alid, or about Alid, or about us as a family, or the boys that maybe I haven't thought of, just let me know. I would also like to kind of spiral away from just doing videos about the boys, but not sure what that's going to look like yet because my life is oh so consumed about them. But anyway, that's just where my head is at and the thoughts I'm having, and let's see how I do. But this is the first week where I'm hoping to begin back with 2 videos a week. So how are you all? I hope you're all doing good. I hope you've all had a nice week. Where are we? Like the 20th of Jan already? Blows my mind. I don't even know. Where's January gone? Where has January gone? Anyway, today we're going to be talking all about sleep. I am going to link some of the videos that I've previously done on sleep, because I will admit this has been one of my biggest challenges and focuses and shocking realizations that is so important, and especially being a first-time mum to twins, I've just found sleep so vitally important to how their mood is and how my mood is and how just daily life is with us as a family. If their sleep is good, it improves us as a whole. So it's been really important focus of the past year and a bit. And yeah, if you don't know me and you're new around here, my name's Natalie. I've got twin boys that are very nearly 17 months. I am a first-time mum to the boys. Their names are Henry and Jack. And yeah, what can I tell you? Basically, when they were born, when I was pregnant, I asked around and tried to find as many people I knew that were twin mums, just to find out what their most important tips or tricks were for the up and coming year or more that I had ahead of me, and what they advised. And I would say the #1 piece of advice that I was given was to feed the boys together, no matter what, at the same time. So I stuck with that. I never veered away from that, and I made sure that they were always fed at the same time, whether it was the middle of the night and one was fast asleep, or the middle of the day and one was fast asleep. I always made sure that they were fed at the same time, and that kind of coincided with sleep. So I did follow a pattern of eat, play, sleep. So I would wake them up, but they would eat, and then I would keep them up for however long their wake window was, and then I'd try to hopefully put them both down to sleep. We still practice that now, and I have to say, even though we've dealt with lots of crying and ups and downs and bits and pieces, they've been really good sleepers, especially the night sleep. As a whole, it was really funny. I was out for dinner with the girls the other night, and they were talking about the 4-month sleep regression, and I was so confused that I thought I knew what the 4-month sleep regression was until they all said that their babies were sleeping a solid 10 hours before they were 4 months. I never let the boys get to that stage. I used to just wake them up after about 3.5 hours to feed them. I never fed on demand, if they were crying. I didn't want them to associate crying with feeding. So yeah, I don't know, maybe that was something that I wouldn't do again, but it worked for me, and I was in a delirious state of mind, I think, by that time. by the time they were 4 months. I don't even know, looking back, how I was alive and doing stuff in the day, but I felt fine. I think it was hormones or something. But yeah, they I guess they never had a 4-month sleep regression because I never let them. I thought they did because things happened in the day. But anyway, I did a whole video on that, so I will link it up here. I don't want to talk too much about that because that was not the point of the video. So yeah, today we're talking all about sleep. I'm sorry if I keep looking down. I have some notes on my phone and I'm really struggling to remember the flow of what I want to talk about. So I will keep just popping my head down to recap, but we're talking about sleep, especially today, because we have just gone through the transition of 2 naps to 1 nap. And I found over the last 16 months the journey of sleep and sleep training and having this sort of structure, as soon as you're kind of at a place that feels smooth and that's going well, there's a change again and everything gets muddled up and everything becomes new again, and your whole daily life and the way you're living has to change, and you have to adapt with them. So we've just gone through that and we're at 1 nap finally. There's been positives and negatives about that, and I'll talk all about that in a bit, but yeah, we're on 1 nap and it's lovely because there's more time basically in the day, even though sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, I wish they were in bed earlier, but it seems really smooth, and I know that this is going to last for a few years now, or a couple of years, until they don't need a nap anymore. So it's nice to have that continued structure and know where I'm at for a while, and nothing hopefully is going to keep changing like it has been over the last 16 months, just so many changes. So let's get into it. Fast forwarding to today, or no, let's go back. When they were 15 months old, I think they had their 15-month checkup maybe a week or 2 after they turned officially 15 months. The checkup time was bang on their 2nd nap. I think it was 2:15. They were currently going down at 9 a.m. The boys have always been early risers. They've always woken up about 6 o'clock. So yeah, they used to get up at 6. And they used to have wake windows of 3 to 4 hours. So they'd wake up at 6, they'd go down at 9, and they'd sleep for around an hour and a half, and then they'd go down again. So they'd be waking at 10:30, and then they'd go down again about 2 o'clock. They were sleeping great, but what I would say was I noticed a couple of things. They would never really wake up at 10:30. They'd honestly sleep until 11 normally, and then they would fight the 2nd nap a little bit, and then when they finally fell asleep, they went deep asleep. I'd have to wake them because it was getting too near bedtime, and then we were having like later and later bedtime, so there was a little bit of a pattern going on, but I didn't really realize it, and I think they needed those 2 sleeps. So anyway, this checkup came around and I was like, I'm just going to test out the 1 nap today because we don't have an option. They're going for their checkup at 2:15, so they can't sleep. So we'll see how it goes. And I actually had a friend who had a baby boy that was like 2 weeks younger than mine, and she'd already shifted to 1 nap, and she said it was going really well. So I was eager to see how it was going to go. So I started out by keeping them up until 11 a.m. That's where I started, and that was my starting point. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to keep them up for 2 hours extra than they're already awake? Because at that point they were like so grumpy and grizzly by 9, and they were going straight to sleep, and I used those couple of hours to like do everything: walk the dog, have my breakfast, get up, get dressed, get changed. So there was like all this stuff, and I was like, what am I going to do with them up? So I had to find like that new normal and that new routine. But anyway, this was just for the 1 day, so it didn't really matter that day, but the day went so well, and the following day they woke up so much later. I think they didn't wait till 7, that I was like, I'm sticking to it, and I never looked back. So I decided to stick to the 1 nap on that day, and it kind of went very up and very down very quickly, but I'll tell you all about that. But yeah, the process was put them down at 11, and then they sleep for a minimum of 2 hours, and then you'd get them up, and the wake windows that you wanted to aim to were 5 hours and 4.5 hours. Obviously the boys were waking super early, so 6 to 11 was 5 hours, so that worked great, and I was hoping as I shifted the time they would wake up later. So that was the aim, and that was the goal, and that's what we did. And the advice that I followed advised that over the course of the next few weeks, every 4 days or so, you would shift the nap time 15 minutes forward. So you start at 11, and then 4 days later you'd go to 11:15, and then 11:30, and then 11:45. Now, this may sound crazy to some of you, but when you have twins, you really need them to sleep at the same time. Otherwise your day is just bananas. Like, let me tell you, the days that the boys haven't slept at the same time have been such bad days for me, because you literally have a baby there just causing chaos around you and needing things for the whole day, and everybody needs a bit of time to do something for themselves and to have a moment to eat and just to sort out their life. So that's why I've been so strict and structured about it, and it's worked for me. So I hope if you're looking for a bit of advice on sleep, this is going to help you. For this next couple of weeks, while we shifted the nap time to 11, I decided that it was a bit too early for them to have lunch, but also wanted to make sure that they had full bellies so that they would sleep as long as possible. My routine would be to take them out and get some fresh air about 9 o'clock. Obviously they'd wake up at 6, have their milk, have breakfast about 7ish, then we'd go on a walk about 9, and they'd have a snack, and then we'd come back and we'd have a bottle of milk, or maybe half of the milk that they were usually getting in the middle of the day, and then they'd go down for a nap, and they'd have the other half and another snack and sort of like brunchy lunch when they woke up. It was a lot of milk, a lot of food, a lot of like bits and pieces of the day going on for a while, and I felt like, oh, this is chaotic. I need to think about so many foods and snacks. But I honestly didn't let it worry me. I just thought nutrition is going to come second in this point. Like, if they need to eat some snacks that maybe not the healthiest thing right now, it doesn't matter. I just want to make sure that they're eating and they're getting food and they're getting milk. So we did that for a while, and now the time obviously has shifted forward, and it's so much easier because they're now waking at 7, praise the Lord, and they have milk at 7, breakfast at 7:38, and then they have their lunch and more milk before they go down at about 12:30. So there's just much more flexibility in meals. So don't get hung up on that while you're transitioning. I know it's hard, but you can't really fit in a proper lunchtime, because if they're sleeping till 1, actually no, I mean, you could do the lunch afterwards, but I don't know how that would work with them waking up. They may be so hungry. But yeah, you could do lunch. And I think I did used to do a big lunch when they woke up, but I was finding that they weren't eating it a lot. They much preferred to eat before they went to sleep. So that was just my boys. But you know, just test it out, see what your baby likes to do. So yeah, there was that on the food. I remember just that was a whirlwind. But for me, we had a bit of a nightmare, because we started doing this slow graduation of time going forward for their naps, and we got to 11:30 and Jack got poorly. Can't remember, I think he got a virus or something, and for a good full week, and this was like right at the beginning of December, he was so clingy and so upset and just so tired, not sleeping well through the nights. And I was like thinking that it was all to do with a nap shift, and it really wasn't. He was just very poorly. Henry seemed totally fine and happy and wide awake and sleeping well, and I was at my wit's end with what to do. So we stayed at 11:30 for probably a month, because after he got better, my mum then came into town, and it just worked for us at that sort of time, having Christmas and all the things. So we stayed there for quite a while, and then we started shifting the time again just very recently when Mum and Graham left. So we're now at 12:30, just depending on how the day goes, and it's working great. The boys sleep at least 2 hours, sometimes a bit more, and yeah, that's it. I mean, I think I've read up that it can take 4 to 6 weeks to sort of see the shift in sleep change and work. And there may be a lot of ups and downs in between, and good days and bad days, but it will happen, and then you have all the time. So yeah, I mean, I can't think what else I can tell you all about that. Let's talk about like the pros and the cons. The pros are that you have way more flexibility with your day. I have been so structured with naps and sleeps, and those 2 sleeps were so hard to get anything done in your day. You pretty much get the boys up and out, and between meals and milk, you'd have so little time to do anything. You'd be having to get home for them to go to sleep again. So I know me and Alid found that really challenging on the weekends and things, and we wanted to do stuff, and whenever we tried to shift the pattern of their sleep up, it would be a lot of tears and a lot of grumpiness, and the days weren't always great. So now we're on that one nap. Yes, it's bang in the middle of the day, which is frustrating. We never seem to manage to get out in the mornings, but we do try and go out in the afternoons, and if their bed is a bit later, then so be it. But the pros are you have way more time to get out and do things, which is lovely. Also, I've made it routine that we go out and we walk the dog every morning, because that's something that I have to fit into my day. So the boys love that. They look forward to their walk. They love going in the stroller. and it gets that done. I don't find it the easiest thing, but I know it has to be done, and we have that as our daily task that we have to do every day, come rain or shine. We get out of the house in the morning. Okay, so now I'm just going to talk about some tips during this transition. My first tip, and I still work on this, is don't stress. If it doesn't work, don't stress. If your baby falls asleep in the car, or if they wake up after half an hour, just do not stress. We've had quite a few occasions where I've gone out in the mornings with them somewhere, and then Jack has fallen asleep on the way home in the car, and they still aren't at that stage of being able to take them out of the car and put them straight in the bed. And also there's the issue of the other one's not asleep and he needs to eat and he needs milk and stuff. But I have found when that's happened, luckily it hasn't been too near the marker when they go to bed, so I've woken him up, given him some food, played for 20 minutes or something, and then put him down in his crib and he's gone back to sleep. Also, when you shift the one nap, I did follow crib 120, which basically means from the moment they fall asleep, they stay in their bed for 2 hours. No matter if they wake up after 45 minutes, after an hour and a half, no matter if they're crying. I know there's nothing wrong with them, they just can't get back to sleep. And a lot of the times that's happened, normally after about 45 minutes to an hour. I guess that's when their sleep cycle changes and they've cried for a bit, but they do eventually fall asleep again. So yeah, they stay in there for 2 hours, whether they sleep or not. And then I time the wake window of the second part of the day from when they wake up, not when I get them out of bed, from when they wake up. So say, for example, I put them down at midday and Jack wakes up at 1:15 and Henry's still asleep. I will put them down. This is kind of hard because that's the only time that I'll break the 2 hour rule, because I do not want Jack to be awake for way more time than Henry is. So I will let the other twin sleep for 30 minutes extra, and then I will put them down. This is so confusing, guys. I'm so sorry if it doesn't make sense, but if one twin wakes earlier than the other twin, let the twin that's sleeping sleep for 30 extra minutes, and then shift bedtime 15 minutes from when the first one woke up. So basically it means that one twin is going to sleep 15 minutes early and one is going to sleep 15 minutes later than the desired wake window. Very confusing. If you need me to explain more in the comments, please let me know, because this has really worked wonders for me, and I don't know how I would have navigated sleep if I didn't know this. So that's always been something that we followed, even from when they were really little. And it's horrible waking the baby that's sleeping, but it means that they can both go down to bed at the same time, and you don't have one that's wide awake and one that's really tired. We've also stuck with daily wake time being consistent. So now that we are putting the boys down at 12:30, their wake time is 7 AM. If they wake at 5:36, they stay in their crib until 7. It's hard and it frustrates me because they wake me up, and I will say the boys love to wake up early. Still, one of them is always waking up at about 6. But they're normally quiet, or they'll cry for a little bit and then they'll just kind of lay down and toss and turn, and they seem to do fine until nap time. So, you know, it's hard to know. Maybe they slept more in the day, had a deeper sleep and don't need as much sleep, or whatever it may be, but they wake up at 7, they get out of their beds at 7 no matter what. And we're always consistent with that. And I think that's it, guys. I can't think of any more tips. I hope I've been clear. I feel like I don't explain stuff very well and it's so confusing, but if you're about to approach transitioning naps, please let me know, and if you have any questions, please let me know, but try to stick to a solid structure, and if things go wrong, but it worked for us, and I really do think there's something peaceful about having a structure for your own peace of mind, because otherwise you just get like so confused with where you're at and what you're doing. And yeah, thank God now I have 2 hours in the middle of the day to get stuff done. I'm still working on that because I feel like there's so much stuff that needs to be done, and I know if I can do it in those 2 hours, but the day seems to have so much more of a flow now we're not doing 2 naps, and the day goes way faster for some reason. So time is just flying by, whizzing by. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this and found some small bits of advice or useful tips in there somewhere. yeah, and let me know if you have any questions. If not, I will see you in the next vlog, and hopefully that will be going up on Friday. So I'll see you all then. Have a good week and take care. Bye.